we'll come in, we'll draw it doesn't matter, you can draw a polygon or a circle, it makes no difference because you tell it what size you want anyway. So we go polygon, yeah, we want to change that, what do we have, 8 sides on it? I can't remember now, but we can change that to 6 to 8 in the entry info. And then all we can do there is reverse that face. If you look at the axis, I will show you the axis in a minute, just draw a line across. I don't know if I did this or the other way. The more faces you get on it, the more accurate you can put it in the right place. Right click, make a group. So the component axis now is over here. It's a group, we'll right click, we'll make a component, call it component 1, set component axis, we'll come in, click on the middle and just create. And there we go, axis is already on the middle. And this is the part I've brought in, and you go to window and you come down model info, click on model info and it'll tell you in the sketch what it is. And you come down the left hand side, different bits there, go to stats and entire model, and it says edges there, say 55,027. That's quite a lot because each one of these rivets, if we go click on a rivet and go to entry info, I think it tells you, so it will tell, I can't, so I'm going to have to explode it. It will start telling you that this is a lot of faces and a lot of messing about moving these rivets, because you can't grab the back. You want the back of it to move it. So you have to grab the front and pull it around. Now, there is a way of sorting this out. First thing we need to do is, because these rivets are components, whatever we change on one, we change on them all. So if we, let's click away, we'll go on a component list and we'll come down. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Rivet, and this is the rivet we've got. So if we put it up here, and then I've actually altered this, but if you double click, actually I haven't altered it, you'll find that the axis is on this one, it's on the front. Yes, we've got the red on the right and the green going back and blue up, which is fine. But what we really need is it on the back. So if we mark the back, actually if we move it over a little bit, you'll see it a little bit better. We open it up, if we click on, and I've got a center finder and it's there in the middle. We'll click on an axis tool on the left and we'll come on the endpoint and it'll go first. If you look down the bottom, pick direction for the red axis. We want to keep it on the red. It will change red when you go there. We'll click once. And then it says pick direction for the green axis. Now, if you come down or if you go the other way, it changes. Just come along the normal green axis and it'll automatically put the blue in. So and then we click away, it should come up with a warning. Would you like to up-to-date components axis to match your modified sketch? You press yes. So now if we double click on this, the axis is at the back, spot on where we want it. Now what we can do is, I've drawn another component, where are we going, which is this here, which is exactly the same size as a rivet. And what I've done is made it this shape so you can click on it, each one of these edges. If you want to move it, click in the middle, put it on the edge. Yeah, click on an edge and put it there. It's like a template, but for rivets. So now the geometry on this is negligible compared to a rivet. So to use it, what you need to do is, if we click on the rivet, right click and instances, and we select all. So now all our rivets now are selected. We'll come up to our components and we'll press on the new rivet, we'll right click and we'll replace selected. And what it's done, it's changed that rivet that was big and bulky into these little patches. Now these patches are the same, exactly the same as the rivets, but much easier to move around. And if we do a window, model info, we're now, instead of, what was it, 50,000, we've got 4,000. So it's massively reduced the sketch. So we play about, we move our rivets around, and we want to make sure that it looks good. We'll come in, we'll click on the rivet, and we find a rivet, or actually it's just as easy to bring in a rivet anywhere you like. We'll right click, we'll select, actually no, we want to click on our rivet replacement. We'll right click, instances, select all, and then we'll come in and we'll right click on the rivet and replace selected, and then we go, we've changed our what was it, template type rivets back to normal rivets. So it's a good way of cutting the size down and move them around easier. Now what I did was, I got actually we want to change them back. So if we bring a rivet in, yeah, we'll right click, instances, select all, and then we'll right click and replace selected with our test piece. And then I come in and I got one, which was a front facing one. And then I just mirrored it. So click on, do a control, keep it on an axis, and turn it around. We'll be on the blue axis, and paste it there. So the face is out and the back's that way. So I know now if I want to put a rivet, let's go to rivet, we'll go to front. If I want to put a rivet on the left hand side, I can pick that one, do a control, drop it on and run it down there, and the faces are all facing the right way. So if I go back to the rivets, what I done was, I checked 6 sides sitting there, top, bottom, left, right, front, back. I made up the 6 different types, and these labelling here, all I done was go into the dimension tool, we'll click on edge, and where it's got dimension, you double click and you just put a name in there. It's as easy as that. So don't want to mess up that. But yeah, that's it. And one thing you must do though is, once you've done all these will, you can use these on any model you like now. All you've got to do is copy and paste them. But you've got to select every one of these. There we go. We'll ungroup that. And for some reason, these, if you save, oh, it didn't do it that time. When I was saving, these were disappearing. These letters and, you know, the labels. So what I done was I selected them all, and I made a group of them. But for some reason, every time I saved, they disappeared. So now I've got this template. If I highlight it, copy, we'll go back into our main one now. We can paste in place, or just paste, sorry. And then we've got, I'll tell you what you can do, you can zoom in on it, so you can always find it. On the top there, we can add a new scene. I don't know what that's there. We should just add a new scene, layout scene. Right, anyway. And now, if we say we're working on a bogey and we want to go back and put the rivets on, we can go to scene 9. We'll rename that. If you go to scenes, it'll come up, scene 9, we'll put rivets. And press enter. So now wherever we're working, so we're working in the start block, if you press rivets, it'll bring you back to this one. I would have moved it over a bit actually. If I come in, highlight that one, move it across to the right, so it's in its own little scene. And then zoom in to it, like that. So I know that's where my rivets are, nice like that. Go to rivets, right click and update. It updates that scene. So go to the wagon, go back to the rivets, they're there. Excuse me. So I want one on the top. I'll click on, I'll copy it. I'll go to, where we go, working. That wasn't a good one because we'll go to rivets. We'll go right side. We'll copy that. We'll go to our wagon or our working. There we go. I want some rivets along this front edge here. I'll do a paste. There. Now, if I brought a line down off there, I can click on that rivet and just move it, and it moves, it snaps to the grid or to the lines because there's no backing. Now, if I brought one of these over, the axis is on the back. It's hard to get to. You can go into X-ray mode. You can go to View, Face Style, X-ray, and then I can come in here and find the back. But the other way is so much easier. So now one thing we didn't do, or we can do, we'll get a rivet, make sure it works on this one, component. We'll find out, I've got a few more in here because I've got other models. I'll have to change their pictures to a list. There we go, there. We'll put that there. Now, this one, I think the axis is probably on the wrong on this model because it come in that way, it should have come in the other way. So if we double click on it, yeah, the axis is in the corner. That's where it will put it by default. Yeah, so if we, what we do is we rotate that on the red, up, we'll come to the back, we'll double click. The axis is in that corner. We don't want it there. We'll change the axis to the center, along the red, along green. And then when we click away, it will warn us and we go yes. So if we click on the rivet, select the instances, and then we'll right click on, it should be up there, and replace selected, and there we go. It's done it in the whole model. Yep,